I'm going to heat my pan. It's very hot. I'm going to put about 1 tablespoon full of oil. I'm going to let that heat up, and then I'm going to add a little bit of Bangladeshi 5 spice, which is called Panch Paran. It's a combination of fennel seed, cloves, coriander seeds, the odd piece of dried ginger, nigella seed, and yeah, different brands, slightly different combinations. So I'm just going to flavour the oil with that, and then I'm going to add some onions and some finely chopped red pepper. And I'm just going to sizzle that off quickly. I'm going to do this on a high heat. Great. Next I'm going to add about just a heaped teaspoon of garlic and ginger paste. And I'm just going to sizzle that off as well. It won't take too long. Minimal oil for this. Get all the flavours absorbed. And already we're using about 10 ingredients here. So I'm starting to smell those flavours coming out now. So yeah, get the rawness off those onions and ginger and garlic. Now I'm going to add some biryani masala powder. Quite an acquired taste, but I must say I'm almost addicted to it. It's absolutely amazing. It's got a lot of different spices in. I'm sure you can read about all the ingredients of this mix on the internet. There are dried plums, cinnamon stick, you name it. And I'm just going to toast that very gently. I'm going to add a little bit more oil. I don't want it to burn, and I'm actually going to take the heat down quite significantly. Very good. That's starting to caramelise at the bottom. Give it a good stir, make sure I don't burn anything. Then I'm going to place my vegetables into the pan. I've just got some pre-cooked carrots, potatoes and peas. I've left a little bit of water in the vegetables so the spices stick to the veg. That's looking colourful. It's pretty simple. What you call this, you could call it a simple vegetable biryani, or you could call it a pilau rice. The choice is yours. I just know it tastes great. Alright, I think that's done. What I'm going to do now is put that to the side a moment, and then I've had some rice which I've cooked about 30%. That rice is obviously super long basmati, which is the best for this type of dish, and it was soaking for about half an hour, which evens the cooking. You know, everything's cooks perfectly at the right time. It reduces the cooking time, and I'm just going to bring that to a boil, and I'm actually going to add a little bit more of that powder to the mix. I can't get enough of it actually. The first couple of times I tasted it, a little bit sour, but now really, the more I eat it, the more I love it. I'll have it in my cupboard. I'll open my cupboard door just to smell it. Sometimes it's that nice. And yeah, apologies for having the camera put over into the steam. I'll have to invest in a tripod. Okay, that's coming to a boil now. As you see, the rice is about half cooked, and I'm going to add my veg along with the spices and ginger and garlic and onion and peppers. The heat will reduce. I'm going to turn the heat up now. Okay, I'm going to give that a gentle stir. Always very gently stir rice because you don't want it to break. Give it a good stir, bring it to the boil, and then put a lid on it. So as you can see, full of colour, obviously full of flavour, and I brought that to the boil now, but I never actually boil rice. As soon as I see bubbles in the top, I will reduce the heat to about halfway on this cooker. I will put a lid on it, and I will leave that now for about 3 to 4 minutes, and I'll be looking again in 2 minutes. As soon as the rice is doubled, cook on a gentle heat for another 1.5 minutes, and that's coming up in a moment. One thing I did forget to mention, I like to add some sultanas or you know, green, what do you call it, raisins or whatever you want to call it. I like a little bit of fruit in there, and that's just gone into there now. And a small wedge of lemon. Now you can see the rice is about 90% cooked. It's long, it's you know, looking pretty good there. I'm going to turn the heat off, and next I'm going to transfer to a colander. Once I've transferred it to a colander, I drain it and I put it back on the saucepan, and I just leave it now for about, well, however long it takes for some of the grains of rice to start to curl up. I don't make sure you don't fork it up at this point. The rice is really delicate. It's still hot, it's still cooking, and that's also why I take the rice out when it's about 90% done, because it's steaming now. What I will do briefly is give it a large surface area to let off more steam, and we'll come back to that shortly. So that's starting to dry out a little bit, and I use a fork with the wider the prongs on the fork the better, and I'll just mix it around very delicately just to get rid of the water really. It's the surface area that steams it off, and you might have noticed I didn't use any salt. There's plenty of salt in the biryani mix powder. You don't need to use salt unless you really like it salty. So that's that. I'm going to do the same now. I'm going to leave it for another 3 to 5 minutes, and then whisk it up slightly again, beat it up with a fork. So there it is, ready to serve. Let's fill a bowl with it. So traditionally fried onions would be served on the top of this, but I haven't got any, but it's not a problem. A little bit messy there. So there it is, and what I do, a little bit of cucumber on the top. You can use finely sliced coriander or whatever you want, and finally a sprinkle of the biryani powder just on the top, and there you have it, vegetable fried rice. Not fried, but yeah, enough said.